Hi guys, nice to see you again. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Hee-kyung Kim. I am a freelance illustrator and designer and a content creator. As a freelance illustrator, other than creating art, having a stable income is the most important thing to keep pursuing art as a career. So when I quit my full-time job as a designer, I searched how artists make a living without having salary. There are many. You can get commissions from company or publisher, licensing art, publishing a book and get royalty, selling merchants, opening online/offline class, and many more. And having Patreon page is one of them. In this video, I will talk about what is Patreon and how did I open my page and what do I share in my Patreon. So let's get started. First, what is Patreon? I came across Patreon first when I was watching Franna's YouTube video a few years ago. She always ends her video by commenting Patreon, so I got curious and that's how I got to know about it. Patreon is a paid platform that allows creators like me to connect with their audience and receive support in exchange for exclusive contents and rewards. So how did I open Patreon? I will take you through step by step. Before start, you should start by knowing your audience. I understood my audience already. I've been managing my Instagram account since 2016. I remember what my followers like and want to know when I make a post. I've got many questions about what color pencil I use, which sketchbook I prefer, how do I make illustration and find inspiration or something like this. So I had the overall feeling of what I can offer but just needed to be more specific. If you don't know about your audience yet, then you can start by identifying your audience first. You need to understand your target audience and what they like, what they want to know, and what unique value you can offer them. This will help you create a compelling and focused Patreon page that resonates with your audience. So how did I open my Patreon? First, I started by researching and planning. I had a handful of artists I follow in Instagram and YouTube. I visited their Patreon page and see what do they offer. I looked at their membership tiers and got overall feeling, then made a note of rewards from each tiers and listed out what I can offer to my audience. Once I planned out the overall rewards, I set my tiers. When I set tiers, I took a lot of reference from other artists as I cannot be too lower or too higher than market average. I also needed to think about what my audience would feel about the tiers. It cannot be too overpriced than what they would get in return. I had a phone call with a Patreon creator partner and discussed about this tier. My initial price range was 2, 6, 12, 15. He agreed with the rest but not the first tier. He suggested to start by at least $3. According to him, lower price is always tempted to start, but my work should be worth more than $2. And I won't get really much after fee too. So I set my tier as 3, 6, 12, 15. When you set up the tiers, never underestimate your value. According to the Patreon Creator Hub advice, offer tiers starting at $3 or $5 actually convert more fans to members than those starting at $1. And the average member pledge on Patreon is $7 per month. Now, you will need names for each tiers and description for each tiers. My first tier is named Digital Pals. This is the most basic stuff, and Patreon in this tier will have monthly digital downloadable items like stickers, weekly planner, etc. They can vote for my new product too, and some live updates and behind the scenes of the current project. The next tier is Artsy Club. I mainly focused on this tier. This tier is all about learning. I published 5 books of how to draw. I've been making how to draw animal reels for pretty long time, so this how to draw step-by-step guide sounds very compelling to me. I mostly use color pencil when I make this kind of reels, so I decided to make a detailed step-by-step in pencil and color pencil. Making step-by-step guide on paper is a bit complicated than doing on digital, but I thought paper and color pencil would be my unique value that I can offer to my audience. Not only sketching, I also made color swatches with exact color number I used, an alternative option for different color pencil brand, and hex code for digital drawing. I've been asked about the composition, ideas, and stuff, so I wanted to make a long blog post about illustration walkthrough, how I get the idea, how I make a sketch, color palette, coloring process, etc. Monthly in-depth blog post about illustration career insights and illustration tips, and my master resource of gears, art supplies I use, and vendors are shared too. The last two tiers are Happy Mailer Club. I love making stickers and also love packing and shipping, so I couldn't skip this perk. I have one sticker sheet and one diecast sticker tier and sticker sheet, diecast sticker, and print tier. I will see how it's going and probably add something else like bookmark or something else in the future. Then I started my page. I wrote about page first. I've got a lot of advice from Patreon Creator Hub. It gives me idea of what should I write in each section. I started by introducing myself and why I started Patreon, and ended up by mentioning about rewards that they will get. Of course, I need to make banners, icons for each tiers. I was so nervous about it and I was thinking of wait a little bit to publish, but then I was like, well, what the heck? I just hit the publish. After launching, I thought nobody would sign up for Happy Mail Club, as I mentioned in the post that there won't be any mail sending out this month as it's already approaching to the end of the month. But I found somebody signed up to this tier, so I felt so bad about not sending anything. I have collected what I have for now and staged up and made a reward for this month. So this is it. This is how I started my Patreon. It was a lot of work, but I actually enjoyed each of the process a lot. There are already several patrons in my Patreon page, and I sincerely appreciate. Before, every time I heard that Frenard mentioned about her Patreons at the end of a YouTube video, and I couldn't really understand, but now I totally got it. Somebody actually comes to my page and willing to pay for the contents I create, and every time I see this happens, it makes me feel like, how do I make the contents better, and how what kind of what kind of value I can offer, something like that. It means really a lot to me. Thank you so much. Cannot wait that this little art community will grow here. So this was my latest journey to Patreon. I hope you enjoy watching and hopefully inspired you to start your own Patreon page. If you're curious about my page and want to be part of my Patreon community there, I left the link down in the description box. So this is it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.